Hi, my name's Nick, and this is House Hunted. So I recently played John Doe Plus, which is made by the same dev who made this, and this is part of their Uncanny Valley series. So I think this is probably a little bit shorter than John Doe Plus. There's only 4 endings in this one, but it's a surreal, weird visual novel about real estate, maybe? Or you're trying to find a house? I'm not sure, I've already forgotten what it said. But this one has a gallery. The previous one didn't have a gallery. That was cool. Okay, let's do this. I'm already a big fan of this studio. The game you're about to play contains graphic violence that some may find uncomfortable or disturbing. The creator takes no responsibility for those who may be upset by proceeding. By continuing, you're consenting to the contents therein and agreeing that you are capable and mature enough to enjoy this content responsibly. You have been warned. Very directly. Still got like the AI weirdity style. Oh, what a long bus ride. I'm glad I'm finally here. You looked around yourself, taking in the surroundings, breathing in the nauseating aroma of bus exhaust and oil. Well, there's obviously not much to look at here at the Grey Horse bus station. Grey Horse bus station. But I'm sure the rest of the city's beautiful, just like the brochure said. Hopefully the apartment company was honest about having my new place ready to move in. Quickly grabbing your modest baggage from the bag claim, you straighten your clothes and walk towards the nearest visitor centre. There's a cafe nearby. I am starving right now, and it'd be a nice little pick-me-up. I also kind of want to see the city. I could just wander around a little bit. I'm also pretty tired. Maybe I should just head to my apartment. Let's head to the cafe. Yeah, I think if I go any longer without eating something, I'm gonna collapse. Coffee also sounds pretty great right now. You finally make your way to the nearest cafe. It's small and quaint, and you can hear the chatter of random patrons inside. You slowly step into the cafe, taking in the smooth, rich smell of brewing coffee and the sweet scent of the baked goods. It makes your stomach growl even louder and prompts you to rush to the counter to place your order as quickly as you can. After placing your order and snatching up your dinner for the day, you scurry over to the furthest table away from anyone else to scarf them all down. The coffee is thick and strong and slides down your throat slower than you expect. It's an odd sensation, but strangely, not bad. The cake is an equally odd experience. You decided on coffee cake, but the flavour seems to be different with each and every bite you take, and it makes it hard to get used to eating it. There's also strange hard bits throughout it that pop and sizzle like pop rocks, but taste like cinnamon. You're so hungry right now though, you just deal with the weird food and focus on just getting it all in your stomach as quickly as possible. As you're focusing on your food, you don't notice the older man sit down at the table in front of you. Oh, I didn't notice you. Hello? Can I help you? The strange man adjusted his burning red blazer and cleared his throat. His movements were so odd and stiff, as if he was made of cardboard. You're new in town, lost and wandering. You need a place to call your own. The way he talked surprised you. His voice was so smooth, as if he'd given this same speech a million times. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Maison Tallow, #1 realtor in all of the Uncanny Valley. I can help you find your dream home today. Quickly snatched a business card from his breast pocket, only for another identical business card to pop up to take its place. He offered it out to you, his hand coming uncomfortably close to your face, making you flinch back a little bit before taking it from him. Give me a call and we can get you set up in a new house today. Guaranteed. Okay. I should tell you I already have an apartment lined up, so I don't think I'm in a place to be buying a whole house. That's quite alright. I'm sure you'll be giving me a call. I am the #1 realtor in all of the Uncanny Valley, after all. I have never had a disappointed buyer. You'll love the house I've just found for you. I'll be waiting. The strange realtor walked away before you could get a chance to argue, his long legs carrying him faster than you expected. You just shrugged and pocketed the business card. No harm in holding onto it in case something happens with your new apartment. You quickly finish up your food and beverage, making sure to leave a nice tip on the table before heading out to the apartment. As you approach your new apartment complex, you feel warm in your heart and can't help thinking about how you're finally getting a much needed change in your life. You take a deep breath in, taking in the cool, clean air of the valley, and step forward to find your apartment number. Ah, here it is. This is so exciting. I've been wanting my own apartment for a while. You go to turn the handle. Huh? The door doesn't budge. You twist the handle. You try again. It's locked. The heck? They said the door was going to be unlocked when I got here. I should give them a call. Hello? Uncanny Valley Apartment Hunters, how may we help you? Hello, I'm supposed to move in today, but my apartment's locked. You can hear paper shuffling on the other side of the line, followed by what can only be described as the roars of animals you just can't place. Ah, yes, we had a little issue in your apartment, and it won't be ready till tomorrow. Our apologies. Oh no, what am I meant to do now? What could the issue possibly be? Or maybe you could pry more for a better explanation, but you also don't want to be rude. I'm going to persist. I want to know. What do you mean something happened? I don't really have anywhere else to go. You hear the clicking of what sounds like a typewriter for a few moments and a loud, annoyed sigh. We've been having some issues. You wait for an elaboration, but you're met with a long, awkward silence instead. Yeah. What are the issues? More typing and paper tearing. Is that a blender? Your apartment will be ready tomorrow. Do you need anything else, Hugh? You sigh, defeated, and look around. There's nothing much to really do in this situation besides look for a hotel. No, that's it, thank you. Please call me as soon as my apartment's ready. Of course. Good day. With that, they hung up and left you standing in front of the building you should have already been in by now. Shoot. Now what? You shove your hands in your pockets absent-mindedly and feel the hard piece of paper crunch against your fist. You pull the paper out of your pocket and suddenly remember Mason. Huh, yeah right. I was lucky to afford this apartment. I can't buy a house right now. Still, it wouldn't hurt to call and see what's available. No, let's look for a hotel. Priorities. You decide it's probably a better idea to go find a reasonably priced hotel than waste your time with realtors. You find yourself in what seems to be the heart of the city, the many buildings and stores almost feeling as if they're closing in around you. Alright, hotel. Downtown areas usually have hotels, right? Lost? Lonely? You didn't call me, you? Whoa, Mason. Were you following me? How silly. No, my dear buyer. I am simply that good. #1 realtor in all of Uncanny Valley, after all. I'm very sure you remember this, right? You clearly need a place to go, and I have the perfect house just waiting for you to be inside of it. Weird. How do you know my name? He just stared at you, clearly refusing to answer. Why, what's this? Listen, I'm just looking for a hotel, you know, hotel. You make sure to really announce the word hotel to him as if he didn't understand. You really wanted to get this seller off your back. Hotel. The tall gentleman seemed to be struggling with processing what you told him. Something was even creepier when he frowned than when he smiled, which was shocking. Oh, my dear, poor buyer. You are confused and lost, I see. He was not listening. Listen, just come with me. Take a look around this lovely 3-bedroom home with me. If you don't absolutely fall in love with it, I will personally pay for your hotel stay while I search for a house that suits you. Suits your specific needs. You didn't like how his last sentence was almost a purr. But if he was being honest about paying for a hotel, what did you have to lose? You could just humour him for an hour and tell him no when he's done with his little speech. Alright, Mason, you wore me down. I'll come look at this house you found for me. Perfect. I can assure you, you will love this 2-garage domicile that is just starving to meet you. You're about to question his choice of words when you are abruptly cut off from the sensation of a long, bony hand wrapping around your forearm, almost dragging you along with him as he headed towards God knows where. Maybe you've made a mistake. I feel I definitely have made a mistake. Felt like you've been walking for an hour in awkward silence, struggling to keep up with the strange realtor's long and fast strides, when he finally stopped, abruptly forcing you to bump roughly into his back. He didn't budge at all from the force of your weight against his back. You jumped back, trying to hide the red of your cheeks from your embarrassment. Sorry. You looked over at the huge house before you, the for sale sign glaringly obvious on the curb. This is the house. Oh, do you see something you like after all? I'm not surprised. This house is in very good condition. You don't think I can seriously afford this place, right? This place is huge. Quite the flatterer, I see. I assure you, the price is very reasonable, and I'm willing to haggle greatly. The seller is simply looking to sell fast. You look back at the house. Something had to be up with this. It was sounding more and more fishy the more this realtor talked it up. Okay, what's the catch then? Catch? Yeah, come on man, why is the seller trying to get rid of this beautiful house? Did someone die in it or something? Of course not. His pause worried you greatly, but you were pretty sure you read somewhere that realtors had to disclose that information to you or something, right? Simply come inside and take a look around, no strings attached. You'll love it when you see the insides. You won't be able to walk away from a deal like this, dear buyer. Is the house sentient, and you are part of it, and you are getting people to come in so the house can literally eat me? Call in that immediately. Something definitely felt wrong about all of this, but you're already here. Yes, on it. In for a penny. Alright, let's go check it out then. Don't get your hopes up though, Mr. Tallow. Oh, I have no doubts you'll be instantly attached when you see it. Oh, they're gonna Borg me, aren't they? I'm gonna become assimilated with this house. He roughly grabs your arm again, his sharp fingertips digging in roughly as you follow him up the concrete walkway to the bright red door. How long have you been searching for a buyer for this place? You decided to ask to lighten the mood up a little. You notice Mason staring intently ahead to the door, his eyes looking almost hungry as he ushers you through the door and into the living room. Oh, this place is pretty nice. You look around at the stand-in furniture and run your fingers along the couch. Oh, it's warm. In fact, the whole place feels really uncomfortably warm and humid. It's because it's alive. Hey, do you think we could turn on the AC or something? It's a bit hot in here. It's a little hard to focus. Do you absolutely love this house? It's a little early for that. I haven't even seen any of the other rooms. Oh no. Oh, I don't feel very good. Can I sit down? Oh, by all means. Make yourself comfortable, dear buyer. You stumble ahead, the room spinning around you. You grab onto the couch and steady yourself and see the walls melting around you. Oh no. Oh, what the hell? Oh, what's the matter, dear buyer? Are my guts alarming? Please don't fret. I promise it'll be quick enough. My enzymes will be sure to knock you out before the digestion process becomes too unbearable. What are you... You try to steady yourself. Mason grabs you roughly by the throat and throws you down, pressing you hard against the floor. You try in vain to keep yourself propped up, your eyes growing heavier and your nostrils filling up with the sickly, sweet smell engulfing the room. Just relax, dear buyer. You're going to make my value skyrocket. He was pressing his body against you hard, making sure your face was against the floor. It was warm and kind of soft. You start letting your eyes slowly close as tiredness and the sickly smell lulls you to sleep. Maybe this wasn't so bad, he thought. You were so tired and just didn't want to fight anymore. You could feel a stinging sensation against your exposed skin, burning you slowly, but you didn't have the energy to fight Mason or the house anymore. Or maybe you should say Mason the house. You finally let your eyelids drop, breathing in slowly and deep for the last time as the house slowly digested you. Called it! Housewarming. Oh, this is so good. I love this so much. Ah, this is cool. This is also going to make picking a thumbnail very easy. So, what do I want to do now? I feel like it's going to end the same way, but I'm going to go get a coffee, and when I can't get into the apartment, I'm going to call him and just see what happens. I imagine it's going to end up exactly the same way, but we'll see. It looks like you can actually fast forward this one, which is good, because you couldn't do that in the previous game. You can't fast forward, but you can, because you can click to go on this one, you can do it much faster. Right, cafe. We have the business card. I'll just give up with the letting agent. Didn't get me anywhere before, so you sigh, but ultimately decide it's better to just be patient. You don't know what the company might be going through right now. Thank you. Please give me a call when my apartment's ready. Yes, of course. Have a good day, you. With that, they hung up and left you standing there. And now we gotta call Mason. Yeah, I don't see the harm in blowing some time looking at pretty houses I'll never be able to afford. At least it's something to do. No answer. So much for being the #1 realtor in Uncanny Valley. Ah! Hello, and thank you for your call. Are you ready to see your dream house today? Were you just waiting for me to call you? How ridiculous. I am simply the best in the city, always waiting for a prospective buyer's call. I am always ready to show you to your brand new life. This guy was starting to worry greatly, but he was already here and it'd be rude to ask him to leave. Ooh. So I can go with him is going to be house. Change my mind. Actually, I think I might just go look for a hotel. I'm really sorry to make you come all the way out here. I'm just not interested in buying a whole house yet. He stared at you for several uncomfortable moments, the sickly grin seeming more full of malice than it previously did. Finally, he brought his hands from behind his back, straightened up his coat even more, and adjusting his little house-shaped lapel pin. I'll be waiting for your call, my dear buyer. And with that, he turned and walked away briskly. It felt relieving to see him finally leave. Now you can finally get back to figuring out what you should do next. Okay. Can I actually get a hotel? Is he going to appear again? Ooh, I found a hotel. Finally, you find a hotel, sticking out like a beautiful white beacon. You rush in quickly and ring the little bell for service and check-in. You finally find your room, tears filling your eyes upon seeing the big, soft bed nestled in the centre of the room. You quickly shed your shoes and jump on top of it with your entire body, letting yourself slowly sink into the plush mattress. Oh, I'm so tired. Can't wait to sleep in my own home, but right now, this is the best feeling I've ever felt. You slowly let yourself drift off, your body feeling as if it's been enveloped by a warm marshmallow. You think about where your life is going and smile to yourself knowing that you've made it. You have an apartment waiting. You moved all by yourself and the gas station approved your application. Ooh. The gas station approved my application. Interesting. Because in John Doe, you worked in a gas station. Is this a prequel, I wonder? Okay, and I lived, so I've died and I've lived. And we are 50% of the way through the endings. So far, so good. Yeah, so I wonder if we've moved to the city, we've got an apartment, we've lived, and then we meet John Doe later on. Or he, buries his way into our head at some point. Did I get anything? I didn't get anything else from the gallery on that one. Okay, well, let's do some of the other start options then. So we've got go see the apartment or wander aimlessly. So I'm going to go see the apartment first of all, because I wonder what's going to happen there. Obviously, we're not going to be able to get in, but we won't have met Mason by that point, so I'm so beat from the 6-hour bus drive. I should just head to the apartment and order a pizza or something. The classic move-in food. It is. As you approach your new apartment complex, you feel warm in your heart and can't help thinking about how you're finally getting a much-needed change in your life. You take a deep breath in, taking in the cool, clean air of the valley, and step forward to find your apartment number. Ah, here it is. This is so exciting. I've been wanting my own apartment for a while. Okay, so it's locked again. Cool. Oh! So, okay, before I've even called them, before you can pull out your phone, a very tall, older gentleman stands directly in front of you, towering over you and staring directly into your eyes. Hello? Can I help you, sir? He stares at you for a moment, before adjusting his blood-red blazer, flashing his shockingly white teeth at you. It's a smile that makes you a little nauseous, but you're not sure why. You're new in town, lost and wandering? You need a place to call your own. The way he talked surprised you. His voice was smooth, as if he'd given the same speech a million times. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Mason Tallow, #1 realtor in all of the Uncanny Valley. I can help you find your dream home today. Okay, so business card, yeah, we know all this because it's the same as the cafe. Oh, thank you, but I already have an apartment set up to move into. I'm just having a little issue today, is all. That's quite alright. I'm sure you'll be giving me a call. I'm not going to call you. I'm never going to call you. You freak. Strange realtor walked away before you could get a chance to argue, his long legs carrying him faster than you expected. What an odd man. Well, no harm in holding onto his card if the apartment falls through. You quickly pocket the card and pull out your cell phone. Okay, so I'll push for an argument this time, or for more details. Let's persist. I imagine this is going to be the same as before. Yeah, just standard. We've been having some issues lately. Cool, that's fine. Okay, I'm not going to call Mason. I'm going to look for a hotel, because I know that I'm going to then bump into him, but I don't know whether I had another option at that point. There he is. Okay, no, I don't get another choice. He's just taking me to see the house, which means I'm almost certainly going to die. I'm going to leave. I'm not going in the house again. You just can't shake your nervous feeling and decide it'd be better to get out of here. You're sure he'll understand. You weren't planning to buy it anyway. Listen, Mr. Tallow, I think I'm just going to have to drop out of this walkthrough. I don't want to lead you on to a sale after all. I'm sure you'll find someone who's going to love this place. Yeah, so I'm going to go now. I'm so sorry for wasting your time. I'll hold on to your card, so I'll for sure call you when I'm ready to buy it. I appreciate your time. Mason just stared at you for a few moments, before walking backwards towards the house, stepping carefully down the concrete path and through the door, his head peeking out for a few moments to sadly plead to you before disappearing. You could have sworn you heard a low, rumbling growl emitting from the house before you left. Yes, because it was a hungry house. It felt like hours before you finally made it back to the city. You were so tired. You have to find a hotel as soon as possible. You jumped at the sound of your phone ringing in your pocket and quickly answered it, fumbling with the touchscreen. Hello, you? Yeah, that's me. How can I help you? Yes, we solved the little issue we were having, so if you'd like to go ahead and go to your apartment, it's all ready for you. Oh my gosh, really? Oh, that's great news. Thank you. I'll head right there. We look forward to your business, and remember, Uncanny Valley Apartment Company is dedicated to finding the perfect home for you. Our realtor-free guarantee since 1992. Click. You didn't have time to think about the odd tagline. You were just happy you could finally go home and rest your weary head and lay off your poor, sore feet. Oh, John! John! Am I John? You were just excited to get home. You rushed through the streets of the city. You couldn't wait to just get to sleep. It's been one long day. So yeah, this is John Doe. No, I'm not John. I've walked past John, they've seen me. Oh, doe-eyed. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, this is way more connected to the first game than I thought. So this is 100% a prequel. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so this time we are going to wander aimlessly, I think is the plan. See what happens. Wander aimlessly time. I think it'd be fun to get the lay of the land today. Just a little walk around the area to see what's around and all. After wandering for a good hour, you find yourself at what looks like a business district. You're shocked to see such tall skyscrapers in such a small city. You find a comfortable bench to rest and drink some water, watching the businessmen scurrying past you on the sidewalk. Huh, they all look pretty similar to one another. You notice one of them looks more out of place than the others. Instead of the hyper-focused gaze that marks the others' faces, he looks sad. You wonder about him for a moment. Oh no. Of course it was going to be Mason. Oh no, it's a different one. Ooh. I mean, he's Mason, but we were looking at somebody else. When suddenly a very tall, older gentleman stands directly in front of you, towering over you and staring directly into your eyes. Hello? Can I help you, sir? He stares at you for... Oh, okay. This is just the regular introduction. Yeah, looking for a place to call my own, blah, 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 blah. Hurry up and give me your business card. Thank you. He'll be waiting for my call, which I'm hoping never comes. You decide to sit on the bench for a while longer. You notice that businessman you were contemplating is gone now. You sigh and push yourself off the bench and make your way to your new home. So this is the same. So we're going to get stuck and... Okay, I might... What should I do? I'm going to push for more answers. Call Mason. I'll go to the house. And then I'll leave. I think. Okay, persist. Yeah, call Mason. He's not going to answer, but then he's going to pop up in front of me like an absolute psychopath. Okay, go with it. Yeah, I mean, there's no harm in going with him. He's just trying to do his job, right? He might be a bit pushy, but realtors are always like that. Alright, Mason, let's go look at this house. Oh, I knew you'd choose the right answer, dear buyer. Let us go right there, then. The house is simply dying to meet you. What? Before you could properly ask him why he phrased it so oddly, you felt him roughly grab you by the upper arm, dragging you along with him down the street. I'm going to utilise this save load functionality. Save. Yeah, I'm going to go in. I'll save it when it gets to the decision. I can't save it when it gets to this. Fine, I've saved it already. I'm going to go inside and see what happens. I mean, I'm going to die, obviously, but we'll see. Wibbly. I don't feel very good. Can I sit down? By all means, make yourself comfortable, dear buyer. You shakily stumble over to the couch. Your hands helplessly grasp at the warm leather. You gasp, surprised, as Mason grabs you by the shoulders, guiding you to the middle of the couch and helping you sit down. You try to steady yourself, rubbing your head in an attempt to stop the sickening vertigo. Can we maybe crack a window or something? It's getting really hot. I don't know what's wrong with me. You know something that's a terrible shame, dear buyer? You glance up at the room, still wobbling around you, making it more and more difficult to stay upright. What? I was beginning to enjoy your company. It's not often I find a responsive buyer, and it does become awfully benign, simply eating everyone who comes over. Your eyes have difficulty processing the melting walls around you, becoming more and more organic and even meaty in texture, and you start to notice a strange, sickly smell that you hadn't noticed a few moments ago. Breathing it in makes you even more dizzy, and you slowly slump down on the warm, flesh-like couch. Heat? Ah, yes, you're new in town. This must be very confusing for you. That's correct. You don't need to talk, I will simply explain the situation. After all, I am Uncanny Valley's #1 realtor, and I have been doing this for a very long time, though it's been decades since I found someone so receptive, and the other folks here in Uncanny Valley hate explaining anything. A very lucky chance you met me first. You could feel Mason crawl over you onto the couch, his hands placed carefully next to your head as he leaned in close to speak in your ear. He felt extremely warm to the touch as his skin brushed against yours. You see, dear buyer, being the #1 realtor comes with its responsibilities. I'm not like the other realtors, you see. I take great care in what I do, unlike those who simply want a quick snack. It's become so hard here in the valley to find buyers. The other realtors have taken to simply snatching and running. Quite barbaric, wouldn't you agree? Mason gently cupped your cheeks as he spoke. You were shocked he was being so kind. You could feel him nodding your head for you in agreement to what he was saying. No. My value is much, much higher. I find only the finest buyers to incorporate into something much greater than themselves. I can't just have any tenants to eat, now can I? I have my standards, and I will not stoop to such low behaviours. You weakly nod your head yourself with his help, not entirely comprehending what he was saying or talking about, his words sounding further and further away as your body grew heavier, and it felt as if you were sinking into the meat of the couch. I just knew you'd understand. I suppose since we're getting ever so close now, I could drop my own facade. It does get a little tiring controlling this, albeit quite handsome, cumbersome little lure. You watched as Mason's eyes grew dimmer and his body fell limp, still being held up by something, but his limbs no longer retaining their rigidity. Quite impressive, isn't it? With such an attractive lure, it's become quite easy to bring in such tasty, prospective buyers the old-fashioned way. I suppose it's just my luck to be so gorgeous naturally. It's clearly no wonder that I became the #1 realtor, right, dearest buyer? Oh no. You blearily watched as Mason was yanked backwards and up towards the fleshy lamp on the ceiling. You noticed the umbilical cord-like rope protruding from his neck as he hung there, limply. You wanted to scream, cry, or anything, but your body was totally paralysed at this point, and all you could feel was the growing, burning sensation as something hot slowly seeped through your clothes and onto your skin. I truly wish I could make the digestive process slower than this. I truly do, dearest buyer. I would greatly enjoy some stimulating conversation. Alas, this is how it simply is, and always has been, and I have not eaten in quite some time. Perhaps in another world, another time, we could have spent more time in each other's company. I'm sure you understand that one must eat though, and I'm truly grateful, dear buyer. Mason's voice was no longer coming from his limp, lifeless body, but instead sounded as if it was coming from the very walls around you. You could hear him sigh wistfully as the walls looked as if they were breathing along with it. I will always think of you, long after you've become a part of me. Oh, you finally allowed your heavy eyelids to close as you sunk deeper against the warm couch. You could feel the meaty fabric of the couch moving to cover you up like a soft blanket, almost tucking you in as you let yourself slip into a sleep that you will never wake up from again. Wow. Offer accepted. Damn. God, I love this game so much. Oh wait, that was the last ending, wasn't it? Oh, I did this with John Doe as well. The last ending I got there, I died. And this one I died. Is that all of the gallery? Yeah, all of the gallery. That is such a cool picture. Cool, I love this. I love this so very, very, very much. It looks like we are done with House Hunted, and that was great. That was so good. I love that it was like a prequel to John Doe. If you haven't watched John Doe, go back, watch that video. I would recommend checking that game out as well. It's so good. It's a little slower than this because you can't like click through, and it's got 7 endings, but this is so good. Really well done. I love this weird, horrible world that's being crafted, and the fact that it seems to be like a commonly known fact that realtors are monster houses. They're these effigies put forward by houses to lure people in to eat them, but this Mason was the only one taking it seriously. All the other houses were just like gobbling people up. That would also explain why the apartment people said that they were realtor free. It's cool. Very, very cool. I like the fact that we saw John as well, saw Doe. It's cool. Very, very, very cool. I love this a lot. I will definitely be keeping an eye on this dev team, and if they release any other games, I'm definitely going to check them out, because I am a big fan. So, if you want to check this out for yourself, see if there's anything that I've missed, then the link to the game page is in the description. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then why don't you go ahead and hit the like button, the horrible umbilical cord puppet that is the subscribe button, make sure you that bad boy, and until next time, love you, bye.